So has the lost city of Atlantis, the ancient sunken continent, been found? Plato's island, pinpointed off Cornwall, Western UK. This is what one team claims. Atlantis has been the center of debate for centuries, researchers appearing to lobby more outlandish suggestions every year. But in 1997, a group of Russians topped the list for the most bizarre with a planned expedition 100 miles off Land's End. Land's End, off the coast of the UK, off Cornwall. The mystical island, first described by the Greek writer Plato in his text Timaeus and Critias, said to be an antagonist naval power that besieged ancient Athens. In the story, Athens repels the Atlantean attack. Unlike any other nation of the known world, supposedly given testament to the superiority of ancient Greece, the legend concludes with Atlantis falling out of favor with the deities and submerging into what is believed to be the Atlantic Ocean by some kind of divine intervention. Now, for thousands of years, historians have dedicated their lives trying to find the lost continent of Atlantis, and none have prevailed. But it turns out the supposed sunken island has been hiding off the coast of Cornwall all along, after a team from Moscow's Institute of Metahistory said they found Atlantis 100 miles off Land's End. On December 29, 1997, BBC reported that the Moscow Institute of Metahistory would lead an expedition off Land's End to find Atlantis. After rereading Plato's texts, the Russian team thought that the lost island was located at Little Sole Bank. It's a sandbank southwest of Cornwall. But it was reported that they did not have enough funds to go on that expedition, and so the plans were scrapped. But it may have not been an outlandish idea after all. According to the Cornish folklore, there is a city that sunk into the ocean centuries ago. The legend immortalizes the poetry of Alfred Lord Tennyson, says that the lost land of Lioness, or Land of the Lions, located off Land's End, was engulfed by a huge tidal wave. It was a rich land with fair-sized towns, as many as 140 churches, and some say that it is where King Arthur fought his last battle against Mordred. Lioness is said to have been swallowed by the sea in a single night, never to be seen again. And since then, local fishermen are said to have pulled up stones from the buildings of that lost city in their nets, and to this day the bells of long submerged churches can apparently be heard ringing beneath the waves on still nights. Others say the domes and spires of Lioness can be seen in the sea when standing on the cliffs of Land's End. In 2016, a tidal study inspired by the myth was released, the Lioness Project. The Lioness Project, which studied the impact of rising sea levels on the Isles of Skye over the past 12,000 years, was published by Cornwall Council after 7 years of work. Now, we know what happened 12,000 years ago. We had a lot of earth changes, also astronomical events. We had a comet splitting and hitting the earth at least 7 pieces worldwide, causing some kind of an ice age. Also, that, of course, caused the sea level to lower because of the fact that a lot of ice was concentrated in the poles. So what happened was that we had different areas of the world. The coastlines were longer, closer to each other, because the sea levels were lower. Now, since the mid-18th century, archaeological remains, including stone walls, have been discovered below high water in the Isles of Skye, which were one large island 9,000 years ago and commonly associated with enigmatic lost island of Lioness. Charles Johns, archaeological projects officer for Cornwall Archaeological Unit, said that year that the new data shows that the 500-year period between 2500 BC and 2000 BC saw the most rapid loss of land at any time in the history of Skye, equivalent to losing 2/3 of the modern area of the islands. After this, the rate of change slowed. By about 1500 BC, the pattern of islands was approaching that of today, but with the dramatic difference of a vast intertidal area of salt marsh that in what is now the island's inner lagoon. Much of this would have remained useful land, especially for grazing animal stock, and would have been passable with ease almost all of the time. So obviously we have another area of the British Isles near Europe where we had Doggerland on the east between England and northern Germany, which was land area, and that was also covered up by the melting ice after the last ice age about 12,000 years ago. So this is amazing that they're coming out with new findings because of their research, that they have enough when and if they have enough funds to undertake. This is by Callum Hoare on Express UK. Please leave your comments. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.